In the last class, we have discussed about physical equilibrium completed. Now we'll discuss about the chemical equilibrium. What is chemical equilibrium? Chemical equilibrium means, so we know very well equilibrium is existing in reversible reactions only. Okay. In the reversible reactions, if chemical changes are occurs, means chemical changes are present. What is the meaning of chemical change means? Dear students, reactants converted into products, again that products are converted into reactants, that is known as a chemical change. So chemical changes are occurs means reactants converts into products as well as products convert into reactants. In such type of reversible reactions, equilibrium state will be exist. Okay, that equilibrium state is known as chemical equilibrium. That equilibrium state is known as a chemical equilibrium. So in reversible reactions, chemical changes are occurs and exist equilibrium state is known as chemical equilibrium. Exist equilibrium state is known as a chemical equilibrium. So if chemical changes means the reactants converted into products as well as products are converted into reactants, means it is reversible reaction. Okay, in such cases equilibrium state existing, that equilibrium state is known as chemical equilibrium. It is two types. Okay, chemical equilibrium is how many types, dear students? Two types. One is homogeneous chemical equilibrium, the second one is heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. So how to define the given reversible reaction is homogeneous or heterogeneous? How to identify is very easy, dear students. Homo means in the reversible reactions at equilibrium state, both reactants and products are in the same physical state. In the same physical state means all are maybe in the gaseous state means gases, all are liquids means liquid state, either all are in a solid state means solids. Like they are existing in the same physical state is known as homogeneous chemical equilibrium. Homogeneous chemical equilibrium. Okay, students? Yes. Let's see the examples. H2 gas and hydrogen gas combined to gives 2HI gas. It is all reactants and products all are in the same phase. That's why it is belongs to homogeneous chemical equilibrium. One more, decomposition of phosphorus pentachloride, PCl5, decomposition of phosphorus pentachloride. So it is phosphorus pentachloride is in gaseous state. It is decomposed to produce PCl3 and Cl2 gases. All are in the gaseous state, all are in the same phase, hence it is also belongs to homogeneous chemical equilibrium. And formation of ammonia, that ammonia is a gaseous state. How it is forming, dear students? N2 gas and hydrogen gas combined to gives ammonia gas. So all reactants and products are in the same phase, hence it is also belongs to homogeneous chemical equilibrium. One more example, ester formation. Ester formation means you have to take CH3COOH, acetic acid, and take ethyl alcohol, C2H5OH. If you observe that acetic acid is in liquid state and ethyl alcohol is also liquid state and forms, this reaction is taking place in acidic medium, means acid catalysis. It is also in liquid state, forms ester, CH3, COO, C2H5. This ester is liquid and produce water. This water is also in liquid state. So it is also homogeneous chemical equilibrium only. It is also reversible reaction. Again, that ester decompose or ester hydrolyze into acid and alcohol. Acid and alcohol combine to ester. So it is reversible reaction. And all are in liquid phase only. All are in a liquid state only. That's why it is also belongs to homogeneous chemical equilibrium example. Okay, dear students? Yes. Listen, next, heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. So in that name only the statement is present. Heterogeneous chemical equilibrium means at equilibrium state, both the reactants and products are in different phases. Reactants and products are in different phases, known as heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. Okay, students, it's very easy. Now, this heterogeneous chemical equilibrium examples, for example, nickel is a solid transition metal. is an exist in solid state. It is combined with carbon monoxide gas, forms nickel tetracarbonyl NiCO 4 times. It is a complex, my dear student. This complex is exist in gaseous state. Okay, this product is in gaseous state and it is reversible because it is unstable and again decomposed to gives nickel solid and carbon monoxide gas. That's why it is reversible reaction and it is belongs to heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. Okay, these chemical equilibrium means equilibrium is existing in closed vessel only. That's why you have to take calcium carbonate solid. It is on decompose in a closed vessel, in a closed vessel, in a closed vessel and decompose to gives carbon dioxide gas and calcium oxide solid. So all are in different phases. That's why means some are in solid phase, some are in gaseous phase. That's why it is heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. Again, this reaction is in carried out in closed vessel. That's why this gaseous product CO2 again combined with calcium oxide can able to give calcium carbonate solid also. Whether it is in open vessel, it is only irreversible reaction. It is not a reversible reaction. Okay, students. That's why equilibrium, in order to exist equilibrium, the reactions we must have to carry it out in closed vessel only. We must have to carry it out in a closed vessel only. This is about heterogeneous chemical equilibrium. Okay, students. Let's listen carefully. Now we are discussed very clearly. Equilibrium is two types. One is physical, the second one is chemical equilibrium. Again, the chemical equilibrium is again two types. One is homogeneous, the second one is a heterogeneous. Now we need to discuss about what are the important characteristics of equilibrium. Important characteristics of equilibrium means important characteristics of equilibrium means it maybe belongs to either physical or chemical equilibrium. Characteristics, nature, what are the important characteristics present for physical as well as chemical equilibrium or simply equilibrium. In examination or in objective examination, what are the statements, important characteristics we are discussing? Those all characteristic statements related objective questions they are asking in NEET and JEE examination as well as in board examination also they are asking. Write any three important characteristics of equilibrium or physical equilibrium or chemical equilibrium. Like that way they are asking. Okay, students. So you have to remember these all points, very, very important. Let's see. First one, equilibrium. In order to exist equilibrium, the reactions we must have to carried out in closed vessel only. To attain the equilibrium, to reach the equilibrium state, to existence of equilibrium, we must have to take in closed vessel only. It obtained in a closed vessels only. And the equilibrium process is in dynamic in nature. Already introduction there only we are discussing. It is dynamic in nature. So that's why only in the equilibrium process, the rate of forward reaction, is equals to rate of backward reaction. Okay, rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. Okay, students, let's see that next important characteristic is some of the measurable properties like concentration. Concentration means either reactants concentration or products concentration, whatever it may be. Products concentration, pressure, density and intensity of color. Intensity of color of either reactants or products. Reactants or products are constant, means at equilibrium state. At equilibrium state, what are the measurable properties are constant, dear students? It is very, very important this point. Based on this point only they are asking NEET and JEE examination questions. So at equilibrium state, what are the constant? What are the measurable properties are constant? You have to remember concentrations of either reactants or products. Second one is pressure of either reactants or products. Pressure, how when the pressure will comes, whether the reactant or product in gaseous state, then that concentration we have to express in terms of pressure. Next, density of either reactants or products or density of the solution, and intensity of color of reactants and products. These are the constant at equilibrium state. After reaching the equilibrium state, these all are a constant. They are not changing with time. Okay, is very, very important. Next, it can be established, means the equilibrium can be forms either from reactant sides or either from product side in reversible reactions, means either the side, means either it may first starts to reach equilibrium state either reactant side or sometimes from product side also, because it is a reversible reaction. Next, for example, the reversible reaction, sometimes catalysts are present, means in the reversible reactions catalysts are present. What is the function of catalyst? Catalyst does not changes or does not changes the equilibrium state. For example, here one starting point, here it is ending point, it is reactant and it is product. Now the slowly reactants are converted into products, and again the backward reaction, products are converted into react at certain state. This is the state. At this state, concentration of reactants is equals to concentration of products. Now this is the state, it is called as equilibrium state. So now maybe it is 110 centimeters distance, you have to think it is 110 centimeter distance. To reach this point, catalyst will helps to reach that point very fast, but that state, that point cannot changes, means that equilibrium state cannot be changed by the catalyst. Okay, but the catalyst will help to reach the equilibrium state fast, means that only one important characteristic. It's only speed up to the reach the equilibrium state, means it reaches to the equilibrium state fast. Catalyst will help to reach the equilibrium state fast, but it does not does not alters the equilibrium state, is very, very important. Okay students, let's see another important characteristics of equilibrium state or equilibrium. At equilibrium state, delta G, means in thermodynamics it will comes very clearly, dear students. So in thermodynamics chapter, delta G means Gibbs free energy change, and delta S is entropy change. Okay, I think in physics, thermodynamics, thermal properties are there. In that I think you are studied entropy and enthalpy maybe. Okay, otherwise we'll discuss detailed about Gibbs free energy and entropy we'll discuss in thermodynamics chapter. Don't worry about that. Okay, first listen, Abhay, carefully. At equilibrium state, Gibbs free energy change. Okay, means it is symbol is delta G, and entropy change delta S, both are zero. Entropy change are zero. Okay students. Abhay, listen carefully. At equilibrium state, entropy change and Gibbs free energy change values are zero. What is entropy? What is Gibbs free energy? We'll discuss in thermodynamics chapter. Okay, don't worry about that. Okay, these are the important characteristics of equilibrium, either physical or chemical equilibrium. Okay students, let's see next important concept is law of mass action. By using this law of mass action, we can calculate or we can derive the equilibrium constant value. That's why we are discussing about the law of mass action. What is law of mass action? So first, discussing about the law of mass action definition. First, what is the importance of law of mass action? First we'll discuss. So this law of mass action mainly gives the relation between the rate of reaction or rate of chemical reaction and concentration of product. How the rate of reaction is depends on the concentration of products. Concentration of reactants. It explains by law of mass action. So law of mass action gives the relation between the rate of chemical reaction and concentration of reactants. Okay, next, this law of mass action is applicable for both reversible reactions as well as irreversible reactions, but equilibrium is existing only in reversible reactions. So how this law of mass action is useful to equilibrium concept, that we need to discuss. Okay, now another important point is this law of mass action is applicable to only chemical equilibrium but not physical equilibrium. Why physical equilibrium it is not applicable? Because physical equilibrium means only changes the physical states, means physical form is changing, there is no chemical changes does not occur. That's why law of mass action is not applicable to physical equilibrium, it is applicable to only chemical equilibrium. Now let's see the definition of law of mass action. It is defines, law of mass action is defined as the rate of chemical reaction, means rate of chemical reaction. You have to take any chemical reaction, that rate of reaction is directly proportional to the molar concentration. The molar concentration is nothing but active mass, is directly proportional to the product of molar concentrations or active masses of reactants. So active mass is nothing but molar concentration only. Concentration is expressed in terms of molarity, is known as a molar concentration. So the rate of reaction is directly proportional to the product of the molar concentration, and each term is raised with power by the stoichiometric coefficients, is known as a law of mass action. Let's see the same statement I will explain with the help of one general equation. See, if you are considered a chemical reaction, AA plus BB is converted into products. What is this A and B? The A and B are the stoichiometric coefficients of reactants. A is the reactant, its stoichiometric coefficient is small a. B is the reactant, its stoichiometric coefficient is B, means small b number of moles of B is present. Now for this reaction rate we have to express. What I said definition, dear students, the rate is directly proportional to the product of concentration of reactants. Product of means multiplication. Concentration of reactant means two reactants are present, A and B, means concentration of A into concentration of B, and rise it to the power given by stoichiometric coefficient. What is the stoichiometric coefficient of A? Small a, means concentration of A power A and concentration of B power B. Okay, this is the statement. According to the statement, equation I derived. Now this rate proportionality you have to remove, then we need to introduce one constant, that is K into A power A into B power B, concentration of B whole power B. It is rate expression or rate equation. So this equation we are derived by using law of mass action. That's why law of mass action definition is the rate of a chemical reaction is directly proportional to the product of concentration of reactants, and each term is raised by power of its stoichiometric coefficients in balanced chemical equation. Now where K is called rate constant. Now some exceptions are there to calculate the active mass. Active mass is nothing but concentration mass. So this concentration or active mass for solids means the substance is present in solid state or in pure liquid state. Pure liquid means it is one single component. Pure liquid state, that active mass or molar concentration is equal to 1, unity 1. Next, the active mass for gases is expressed in terms of partial pressure. Active mass, let's see, dear students, how to calculate active mass. Active mass is nothing but concentration or molar concentration. Already we know that molar concentration or active mass formula is equals to N by V, V in liters, means molarity formula. In first chapter only we are discussed. Molarity formula is number of moles of solute present in 1 liter of a solution, means N by V, number of moles of solute by volume in liters. So this N by V value is known as a active mass or molar concentration. That for gaseous reactants or gaseous products are present, it is expressed in terms of pressure. Why? This concentration it becomes pressure, means according to ideal gas equation, PV is equals to nRT, okay, and P is equals to N by V into RT, N by V into RT, okay students. Now N by V is nothing but concentration, so it is nothing but active mass into RT. R and T are constants, that's why pressure is directly proportional to active mass. That's why for gaseous reactants and gaseous products, the active mass or molar concentration we are expressing in terms of partial pressure. Okay, listen carefully. Yes. Next, we have to derive the equations. Rani, listen carefully, ma. So, what I am saying, the active mass or molar concentration for solids and liquids is equal to 1. Don't consider that active mass. Means you have to take 1 only. As gases are present, then the active mass or molar concentration, it becomes partial pressure. Partial pressure we are expressed in terms of atmospheric pressure, ATM units. Okay. Now that is about a law of mass action. By using the law of mass action, how to calculate equilibrium constant? It's very, very important and easy. Let's listen. First discuss about that calculation of equilibrium constant. How many types of equilibrium constants are present? Equilibrium constant. Okay, students, equilibrium constant. So the equilibrium constant is expressed in two types. One is equilibrium constant in terms of concentration, or molar concentration. Okay, and the second one is equilibrium constant we are expressing in terms of pressure. That symbol is Kp. So the equilibrium constant, it is two types. What are those, dear students? Kc and Kp. What is Kc? Name equilibrium constant in terms of molar concentration. What is Kp, dear students? Equilibrium constant in terms of pressure. Okay, how to derive the Kp and Kc values? Okay, first we'll discuss about the Kc derivation of equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. Kc derivation we will see. So to derive the Kc value or Kc formula, I am considering one reversible reaction, because reversible reactions only equilibrium state existing. It exists equilibrium state. Okay, students. So considered a reversible reaction, AA plus BB is converted into C plus DD. Like where small a, small b, small c, and small d are the stoichiometric coefficients of capital A, capital B, capital C, and capital D respectively. So for the above reversible reaction, you have to take one forward reaction. Forward reaction means this forward reaction. In that forward reaction, the reactants are AA, and A moles of small a moles of A is there, small b moles of B is there. For this forward reaction, you have to apply law of mass action. According to law of mass action, rate of forward reaction, RF is equals to, means RF is directly proportional to concentration of products, the product of concentration of reactants, A power A into B power B. Okay, then RF is equals to KF. KF means rate constant, forward rate constant, into A power A into B power B. Okay, so this is one equation, means rate of reaction or rate of forward reaction we derived, it is one. Okay, next second you have to see rate of backward reaction, means first you have to take backward reaction in the above reversible reaction. Backward reaction C. Backward reaction means Cc plus Dd is converted into AA plus Bb. This is the backward reaction. For this backward reaction, rate Rb is equals to Kb into C power C into D power D. Same law of mass action, if you understand, means these equations becomes very easy. It is 1 and it is 2. Now, for the above reversible reaction, it is exist equilibrium state. That's why at equilibrium state, already characteristics of equilibrium state we are studied. So at that state, what I said, at equilibrium state, RF is equals to RB, means rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. Rate of forward reaction is equals to rate of backward reaction. Okay, RF is equals to RB. So this RF and RB left hand side are equal, means LHS are equal, then RHS should be equal, means KF into A power A into B power B is equals to KB into C power C into D power D. Now KF, this KB, it will come to right side, left side, means KF by KB is equals to C power C into D power D by A power A into B power B. This KF by KB is nothing but KC. So KC means equilibrium constant in terms of concentration is equals to C power C into D power D by A power A into B power B, means is nothing but product of concentrations of products raised by and powered by stoichiometric quotient. Whole by same product of concentration of reactants and powered by stoichiometric quotients. Okay students, that's why Kc is equals to nothing but Kf by Kb is nothing but Kc is equals to C power C into D power D by A power A into B power B, is known as a equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. Okay, listen carefully, see that only I gave the equation. So Kc is equals to C power C into D power D by A power A into B power B. So where Kc is called equilibrium constant in terms of concentration. Units for Kc means concentration by concentration, means but powers are different, that's why units for concentration is mole per liter. Mole per liter whole to the power of delta n. What is delta n? Delta n is nothing but, here delta n is nothing but difference between the number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. So it is the units where delta n calculation, the delta n values depends on number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. The same concentration place used pressure, then we'll get Kp. Kp formula is equals to C power C, means the C becomes Pc power C, and concentration of D whole power D is equals to Pd power D, because the pressure is directly proportional to concentration, I said. That's why Kp is equals to Pc power C into Pd power D by Pa power A into Pb power B. Now what are the units for Kp? Units for Kp is nothing but atmosphere whole to the power of delta n, means the pressure we are expressed in terms of atmospheric pressure. Okay, then atmosphere whole to the power of n, and delta n is same. Delta n is equals to Np minus Nr, number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. Okay, now we know very well pressure is equals to concentration into RT. According to that, the relation between Kp and Kc is Kp is equals to Kc RT whole to the power of delta n, where delta n is equals to number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants. It's very, very important, this relation, dear students. And RT whole to the power of n, delta n calculation, number of moles of gaseous products minus number of moles of gaseous reactants, where R is equals to gas constant and T is equals to absolute temperature. Now conditions, three condition will come. Kp is more or Kc is more depends on delta n value. If delta n is 0, RT whole to the power of 0 is equals to 1.